So if you don't know already, I'm Artie Vipperla, and I'm making this video originally with mentee who've become colleagues in a course I call Harmonize Angels. But I'm not making this just for them and us. I'm going to make it more widely accessible by saying a few words of background in case you don't know of me and harmonizing and what this business is of little ones and nurturing and all that. So real simply, after Vietnam, I came home, got a PhD in clinical psych, lobbied the US Congress to do a study of us. And when the funds were voted, the group that I had organized to do a pilot was chosen to do the study. And in 1981, we made national news with the first national data on PTSD. 4 years later, I published a book linking the first time trauma with healing to transformational processes. And the book got celebrated in the New York Times for affirming the highest human values. And I became a pioneer in the field, toured the country. My book became a training manual in the Veterans Administration, and so it went for decades. Then in my early 60s, after decades of the higher practices, yoga, meditation, energy healing, breathwork, bodywork, prayer, the whole schmear, right? I got psychic enough to read energetically how my work was doing, how his home was doing. And I discovered, what? Only skim the surface, 90% unhealed. What's going on? I'm the expert. What up? Well, after dealing with my humbling surprise, I set out to find out what will work. And a few years later, I was blessed on the morning of my 67th birthday when I got up in 2012, moving in a way where I wasn't moving at all. And I checked energetically. My my underlying trauma was diminishing for the first time in a way never before. And my astral aura was expanding exponentially. Amazing. I've been beta testing for now 14 years. And this group is one of the groups that we've developed. The discovery that came after doing free energy readings with hundreds and hundreds of new consciousness people is that the greatest unhealed trauma happens in the first year of life, in infancy, when the way we are received has nothing to do with who we truly are. It's who we truly are. Yeah, divine, cosmic, uniquely invaluable heavenly messenger. Nobody ever says that. Those words didn't come to me right away. But what I got is, oh, we'll love you. We're going to change you. We'll protect you. We'll die for you. But you're here to fit in, and we're going to teach you to fit in. So I could check the people's stature at birth, energetically, and then at the first year of life, shrunk and shriveling. And it's the pandemic of pandemics in our civilization. This has been going on for thousands of years. So after training people to harmonize and get more energy and become in touch with who you truly are, and then radiate that retroactively into your earliest moments as an infant, I noticed healing happened. But after a while with doing this with a lot of people, healing didn't happen fully. What's left? That's what I'm going to share in this video. We'll love you. We'll take care of you. We'll recognize you as a spiritual being, all wonderful as those things happen. And you radiate. Oh, what I didn't add is you carry those moments from early in life with you. The idea that you have pieces and parts in your brain and your body stores it and the muscle memory, that's all mechanistic thinking that categorizes stuff. But the truth is, all that's in you is you. All the moments that you live still live on with the reactions that they came to, understandably, to protect themselves and care for you. How do you melt through that? Not by fixing and changing, imposing new directions and changing your beliefs. No, lovingly bringing what has been absent before. So people do that. They heal their inner trauma from the first year of life to some degree. What's missing is a full recognition that who is born anew with a newborn, this little package you hold in your arms, smells so sweet. It's amazingly, oh, you can understand why parents want to be willing to give their lives to protect is so precious. There's still a package. Still the idea that who's born is inside that skin. When the truth, once you learn how to harmonize, once you learn how to welcome, breathing's welcome, and you open to the subtle sublimity of our full energetic and spiritual being, you can begin to get, and I will go in and do a guided process of harmonizing so you can actually experience what I'm about to say. You begin to pick up that who's in that package is an incarnating, a self-creating, an instancing of the light of life, of the all-embracing love that brings everything in the universe together, the self-gifting power that brings every cell in us to channel living presence, and the self-surpassing, ecstatic renewing that in the universe, what our standard science has no way to embrace other than throwing words at it, but doesn't really get because only wisdom truly gets. Well, how does a new moment come? Out of nothing, nowhere, out of ultimate sources to create newness. This little package is an instancing of self-creating newness that has the light of life, all-embracing love, self-gifting power, and to a subtle sublimity, all those qualities don't just radiate a few feet or a few yards. All of that radiates into and reflects back to ultimate sources, who's born anew with each new one, is all of us and all that is. To use language that's a little bit unfamiliar, all that is always ising. It's always dynamically alive. You come through in harmonizing to actually experience the truth of that wisdom. And so only with the full recognition that that's who lives in you from every moment do you begin to open up a way for all those inner moments to unfold into the truth of who they are and fill out the potential for your heart to open into its capacity for boundless embracing of all that is, with a luminescence that's capable of a knowing that you can call on higher knowing at any moment for what will be good here now in this situation, in a power that brings life not only in you and every cell, but brings life wherever you go to the point that at least subtly and sublimely radiates into all it is, ever newly. So what that's like to actually accomplish is a practice. And what I'm about to do, if you're new to this, it takes practice going back through what I'm about to do at whatever moment, at whatever minute this is, um, 10 or 11 minutes into this, yeah, you can put a marker here and rerun and come back. I find most powerful is that for right-handers, put your left hand over your right, interlace your fingers, circle your hands around against your chest, and your right leg over your left. It's contralateral. It's the way the right brain coordinates the left side of the body, and the left brain, the right side of the body, and the eyes across. All of this is the physical, energetic expression of the ultimate act of divine cosmic creating. All that is alive, as we'll see and you'll experience. And where does it come from? Itself. How? Through itself. With what result? In the more itself. Out of it by means in the more of itself. This is the source of what physics now finds. The shape of all energy field, the cylinder end to end with an infinitesimal hole. Cut it out from the top. In the middle, it's a figure eight. It's a vortex in 4 dimensions. It spirals through time. And we're built to resonate with this, as you'll see as we go into harmonizing. So left hand over right, right leg over left. If you're right-handed, the opposite if you're left-handed. And invite breathing to come as breathing one. Now this takes some practicing for a lot of people, where you set aside automatic breathing or any kind of breath work, of which there are millions of variations, where you stay in control as the self is trying to improve itself, and instead you open. Ultimately, you open to openness. You open to breathings coming not as some physiological function from the brainstem, but from the bringing of the light of life throughout, at least on Earth, every cell of every plant and animal, and you, and uniquely you, the breath that comes into you. And as you go from doing, allowing, inviting, allowing, and welcoming, you can get to the sublime experience of welcoming, how breathing welcomes you. Welcome. That recursiveness, the out of by means of, and the more of itself happens as a communing, you with breathing. And in that communing, contact, fullness, you can then invite breathing to come into the middle of your chest. And with less and less effort and more inviting, allowing, welcoming breathing to breathe you, you let the middle of your chest go up and around to your dominant hand side, back down to the middle, and then up and around to your non-dominant hand side, back down into the middle. The figure eight, it is the cross section or vortex of every energy field. It's how we first learned to crawl, where we coordinated left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. And that figure eight is the cross section of every energy field in the cosmos. And I have other videotapes showing you magnetic fields and the cross section of the Milky Way, the way our rib cage is shaped, and our DNA is in that shape, not by accident, not by randomness. The ultimate elegance and beauty of how the improvisational intelligence of all that is unfolds. And so as you not only commune with breathing, you connect through the moving. I'm going to exaggerate it. You don't have to do these movements this large. You can just let them unfold. And you notice that as you do this in the breathing, you allow this in the rhythm of breathing, you'll begin to resonate with energy and get increasingly in touch with what we call coherence these days, in synchrony with a vibrant aliveness that comes into you increasingly from relaxing through gentle moving. The automatic constriction around our hearts, all kinds of instructions that drop down into your heart or through your heart or open your heart, skims the surface. When you actually allow breathing to move you, you massage gently and bring into a fluid dancing this connecting with energy. And then, as the third of the four steps of harmonizing, we have think, feel, act, desire. We have the head, heart, belly, genitals. There's the earth, with fire, air, water, earth, the fourness of so much that is a natural structure of all that is. Universally, we are built in the fourness as well. Each one of them has 3 energies for 12 energy centers overall. We bring them all into play in these 4 steps where You not only commune with breathing, connect with breathing, then as the first step, you let yourself cuddle with breathing, is hugging you into life by feeling the vibrance that comes into all of you head to toe as you continue to commune, connect, and feel, sense, tune into your hips, knees, ankles, shoulders, elbows, wrists. And you notice you're not tuning into muscle insertions and ligaments and tendons. You tune into a living sense that's localized around each of these 12 major joints. And you can appreciate 12 pairs of ribs you have, and 12 cranial nerves, and 12 systems of the body, 12 meridians connected with the energy of 12 constellations in the zodiac. When we discovered since the Renaissance that every octave in music has exactly 12 half tones in it, the 12ness is a natural number in the harmonies that are the precise, elegant beauty of all that is. And you get in touch with this. Ah, you are an octave in this divine cosmic music that the ancients called the music of the spheres. And then in the fourth step, you can invite this vibrance to reveal that it doesn't stop at the edges of your skin. It goes on to a degree that you can't tell where it stops. In fact, you can't even tell whether it comes in from a sphere at infinity in all directions, it goes out to that, or actually goes in and out as the whole cosmic breathes you in and out all through. And in each moment that goes as fast as it comes timelessly, this boundlessness timelessly comes in and echoes and mirrors your nature as divine, cosmic, uniquely invaluable being who's boundless and timeless. So you come home to an experience of you, your ultimate nature. And this is what you can then gather together and radiate retroactively into the moments you carry from the first year of life. And you can conjure an image. If you don't have a memory of holding an infant baby, you can conjure the image of how amazing it would be. You invite this image and how you would feel. Smell, taste, yes, but you would feel the connecting that this baby just comes up against you and draws out of you a love and appreciation of the presence that's beyond any measure or any words you can say. Now, bring this into all the moments that you can begin to contemplate, that you carry with you from birth on. When people said, "I'd love you, we're going to take care of you," they changed their diapers and put you to sleep and fed you, but always with the message that they were dealing with is contained entity that they had to treat, treat well, but eventually teach to fit in and find its place as a cog in the big social machine. Whereas you now can radiate inward with the knowing, little one, divinely cosmic, boundless in your subtle sublimity, timeless in renewing the moment, each of those moments comes out of eternity, temporalizing itself in time, blip, 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 blip. And here, the recognition that each of you, inner one, are bearing anew, being born anew. You, yes, distinct package, but all of us who have anything to do with you are going to be born anew, just being around and with and in connection with you. But it doesn't stop with enumerating a few human beings who are your blood relations or your caretakers. You are renewing all that we can sense sublimely and subtly as the radiating of how you, like breath, draw on all that is to come alive in each instant. And you radiate all that back out through the uniqueness that was co-created as you, unprecedented as your DNA, your very being is a unique entree, vote, and expression of all of it. So you, each one of you, moment to moment to moment, living on in me. Let's begin the celebration, the reverence, the living with the recognition and the cherishing that all of this is infusing this whole life with the glory and the magnificent and the majesty and the majesty, the magnificence, the marvel of unique instancing of all that is as you. And I love to say those M words. They're from the middle, the letter that's the middle of the alphabet that happens to begin mother and mama in I don't know how many languages and milk. This is what's born through you. The ultimate. Yes, divinely feminine, along with the fierce and strong aspects that are masculine. But for our culture's need to emphasize and rebalance, this needs to come into play in a way we bring into bear within ourselves as never before. So, for all of you who hung in for this, you need to find out more. I'm at healyourdeepesttrauma.com. Later, there'll be another website, harmonizenow.com. But for now, if you see me, healyourdeepesttrauma.com and Artie Vipperla, which Vipperla, you'll be able to find me if it's right. Thanks for staying with us.